Hello everyone and welcome back to another Unifiber Tech Talk video. I'm here joined by Ben van der Steen and today we're going to be talking about fins. We're going to go into the fin terminologies, the shape, size and area and the physics behind the fin, the types of boxes and then the construction as well. Okay, so Ben, I see a lot of different fins on this table, so to start with, why don't you give us a quick basic fin terminology?
Okay, I will show you this fin. We'll start with the base. This is the base. This goes in the board. Then we also have the outline of the fin. Then there is the front of the fin, which is called the leading edge. And this is the back of the fin, which is the trailing edge. Then between the leading edge and the trailing edge, it's called the chord of the fin. And then there's a few more things in the fin. The fin is bending, which is what we call flex. The fin has torsion, which we call twist. And then the fin has a rake, which is an upright angle or backward angle of the fin.
So I also see a lot of different shapes and rakes here. So why is that and what's the differences between the two?
Well, there's fins in different shapes. Fins with a more curved outline, they tend to turn a bit better and be more maneuverable. While the more upright fins, the straighter fins like this one, they are more lifty, they give you more power under the board and they are more racy feeling and give you more directional speed.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you mentioned the power and lift under the board. What exactly is that?
The power and the lift under the board is generated by a couple of things on the fin actually. First of all, there's the profile of the fin, the thickness. It's between 8 and 10% normally. 10% for a more freeride fin, 8% for a speed slalom fin. Then there's the flex and the twist of the fin. This really gives you a lot of the power feeling and upward pushing feeling you have under the board.
Yeah.
That is the lift.
Okay, so you mentioned the 8 to 10% there. That's something I've not actually heard before. So can you break down what that is exactly?
Sure. The 8 to 10% is the chord width and the profile thickness. So the profile thickness is about 8 to 10% of the chord width.
Okay, and how does that then affect the performance of the fin? What does 8% change compared to 10%?
So 10% is a thicker fin,
yeah,
and gives you easier planing, more grip, while an 8% fin gives you more speed, less grip, but less resistance as well. So it's more racy, while the thicker 10% fin is more freeridey, waves kind of fin.
Okay, so you mentioned a lot about the twist, the profile and all of that. Why do we then measure as an industry standard fins in length?
Well, fins in length actually comes from the old days. It's the 1 foot off from the board, 30 centimeters from the tail. Mm-hmm. The width of the board is actually the length of fin you will use, or 4 centimeters shorter.
Ah, okay. So for me as a freestyler, that's obviously a slight exception. But for your everyday windsurfer, what could the effects be of having a fin too long or too short? How does that then affect your performance on the water?
Well, a fin too long, you will get too much power, too much lift under the board, you will go really slow, and you will have a very hard time windsurfing, especially when you're powered up. Mm-hmm. Too small a fin, you will spin out, you will not have enough grip, and yeah, you will also have a horrible time windsurfing.
So let's talk a little bit more about the boxes, or the bases as you referred to them earlier. I can see a lot of different variations on the table here. For me as a freestyler, I see a lot more of the power box and some of the slot box and US box in the wave. But why are there so many differences and what do they all serve?
I will tell you about all the boxes actually. We'll start with the power box. This is the most used fin box in the industry.
Yep.
It's an easy to use box, has one screw. Easy to take your fin in and out, has a conical size on all sides, yep. So it just goes in and it tightens itself. Fins up to, let's say, around 50 it can support. Bigger than that, I wouldn't go.
Okay. You start need some more support.
Yeah, you need more support, a bigger area to hold the fin in place. That's where the turtle box comes in. Has a flatter, bigger surface, gives more support on the fin, and has conical sides, so it pulls in. But these sides are flat and they really connect to the box.
Okay.
And keep everything.
And I guess the 2 bolts on the turtle box also helps the added security as well.
Exactly, the 2 bolts, yeah, they secure more. The box is thicker in the top, so it also has a bit more grip on the inserts. Then there's the deep tuttle, used for really big fins, foils. It has the same conical lines as the short one, so you can use the short one in the big box.
Okay.
But opposite, of course not, because the boxes are more shallow.
Yes.
And then there's the US box, which is the go-to wave box. You can easily move your fin forward and backwards and put it in the right place for you.
Absolutely. So for waves, would you have, what's the effect of moving your fin closer to your thrusters or your quad setup?
So the closer you move your fins together, the more turny your board gets.
Yes.
And the further apart you move your fins, they become a more longer,
Drawn out
turn, yeah.
Perfect.
Correct. And here we have the slot box. This box is mostly used in multi-fin boards for smaller fins. Box is really light, has 2 screws on the side.
Great for wave sailing. It's also adjustable, isn't it? So you can slide the bolt into these little grooves backwards and forwards.
You have the little play of the 2 grooves. Indeed.
Perfect. And then going on to construction, then there's obviously a few different types here. The vinyl one first. What's the pros and cons of this?
The vinyl fin is the most economical fin. I mean, it's very well priced, but it's also, well, not high performance fin. It's mostly used in beginner boards.
Yeah.
Because it's it's very economical and it's touching the floor and all that. It's very resistant for that.
Perfect. Okay, and then G10 is kind of the compressed fiberglass, as I understand. What's the benefits of that, and why do we use that quite commonly?
So the G10 fins, they are made out of as you said, a fiberglass block. They are made on a CNC machine.
Okay.
So they are quite accurate.
Yeah.
And then also the material G10 is very resistant against impacts. So the fins are very resistant for long life.
And then the carbon one looks very flashy. Why would I want to have that one as opposed to the others, for example?
Well, the carbon fins, they are made in molds, and in molds you can put the fibers in the directions you want, and therefore you can really determine your twist and your flex how you want it in the fin. Where for G10, for example, you cannot do this because you have the fixed plate.
Okay, so would you find this more commonly then in slalom, where you're trying to increase performance, or would you find it in other disciplines as well?
You'll find it in other disciplines, but the main discipline it's used in is in slalom, because it's just more performance.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think I've definitely learned something from that chat, and I hope everyone else back home watching this has also. If you want to find out more about fins, you can head to the knowledge page on our website. We'll leave the link to this specific one in the description of the video below. Other than that, thanks very much, Ben, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.